If space is so vast and empty, why do entire galaxies still crash into each other like cosmic accidents waiting to happen? Imagine standing in the middle of an endless desert with no walls and no boundaries, just infinite space stretching in every direction. Now imagine placing two tiny grains of sand miles apart. You would think they would never meet. Now scale that idea up to the universe. Galaxies, massive islands of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter, are separated by unimaginable distances. We are talking millions or even billions of light years apart. So it seems impossible that these enormous structures could ever collide. And yet they do, over and over again. Right now, at this very moment, galaxies are moving, drifting, and in some cases heading straight toward each other. To understand why, we need to start with a fundamental truth about the universe. It has been expanding ever since the Big Bang. Space itself is stretching outward, and galaxies are generally moving away from each other, like dots on a balloon being inflated. So it might seem like everything should be getting farther apart all the time. But that is only true on a very large scale. On smaller scales, gravity takes control. In regions where galaxies are close enough, gravity can overcome the expansion of the universe. Instead of drifting apart, those galaxies are pulled toward one another. Gravity is the invisible force driving these collisions. Every galaxy contains billions or even trillions of stars, along with massive amounts of dark matter. All of that mass creates a powerful gravitational pull. When two galaxies are near each other, their gravity begins to interact. At first, it is just a gentle tug, almost unnoticeable. But over millions of years, that pull becomes stronger. Eventually, the galaxies are no longer just drifting. They are falling toward each other in a slow, unstoppable motion. Let us bring this closer to home. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, is not alone in space. It is part of a small collection of galaxies known as the Local Group. And within this group, there is one galaxy that matters more than any other, the Andromeda Galaxy. Right now, Andromeda is moving toward the Milky Way at an incredible speed of about 110 kilometers per second. That is more than 240,000 miles per hour. And yes, it is going to collide with us. This collision will not happen anytime soon. Scientists estimate that the Milky Way and Andromeda will begin merging in about 4 to 5 billion years. When it does happen, it will completely reshape both galaxies. But here is the surprising part. Even though galaxies contain billions of stars, actual star-to-star collisions are extremely rare. That is because the space between stars is so vast that most of them will simply pass by each other without ever touching. So what does a galaxy collision actually look like? It is not a sudden explosion or a violent crash. It is more like a slow, graceful dance that unfolds over billions of years. As the galaxies approach each other, their shapes begin to distort. Spiral arms stretch and twist. Stars are pulled into new orbits. Streams of gas and dust are dragged across space like glowing ribbons. The galaxies may pass through each other, then get pulled back together again by gravity. This can happen multiple times before they finally merge into one larger galaxy. Scientists believe that when the Milky Way and Andromeda combine, they will form a new galaxy sometimes called Milkomeda. It will be larger, more massive, and completely different from what either galaxy looks like today. You might be wondering what would happen to Earth during all of this. The chances of our planet being directly hit by another star are extremely low. However, the gravitational chaos could change the position of our solar system. It might be pushed into a different region of the galaxy or even thrown out into intergalactic space. By the time this collision happens, our sun will already be nearing the end of its life, so the fate of Earth may be decided long before the galaxies ever merge. Not all galaxies collide at the same rate. It depends on where they are located. In dense regions of the universe, such as galaxy clusters, collisions are much more common because galaxies are packed closer together. Gravity pulls them into complex interactions, leading to frequent mergers. In more isolated areas, galaxies can drift for billions of years without ever encountering another galaxy. There is also another hidden factor that plays a major role: dark matter. Dark matter does not emit light, so we cannot see it, but it makes up most of the mass in a galaxy. It forms enormous halos that extend far beyond the visible parts of galaxies. When two galaxies approach each other, these dark matter halos interact first. They increase the gravitational pull between the galaxies, making collisions more likely. In a way, dark matter acts like an invisible structure guiding galaxies toward each other. One of the most surprising things is that galaxy collisions are not rare accidents. They are a normal part of how the universe evolves. In fact, most large galaxies we see today were formed through multiple mergers over billions of years. Even the Milky Way has collided with smaller galaxies in the past. We can still see the evidence in long streams of stars left behind from those ancient encounters. Collisions are not just destructive, they are also creative. When galaxies merge, massive clouds of gas are compressed. This triggers bursts of star formation, creating new stars across the galaxy. Entire regions light up as new stellar systems are born. So while collisions can tear galaxies apart, they also give rise to new cosmic structures. At the center of most galaxies lies a supermassive black hole. When galaxies merge, their central black holes eventually come together as well. This process releases enormous amounts of energy and can create powerful gravitational waves that travel across the universe. Another fascinating aspect of galaxy collisions is how long they take. These events unfold over billions of years. Even though galaxies are massive, the distances between them are so great that everything happens slowly. It is like watching a process in extreme slow motion, where entire civilizations could rise and fall without ever noticing the change happening on a cosmic scale. When we step back and look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that the universe is not static. It is constantly changing. Galaxies are forming, evolving, merging, and transforming over time. Even though space is vast and mostly empty, gravity ensures that nothing is truly isolated. Everything is connected through this invisible force. So if galaxies are so far apart, why do they collide? Because distance does not mean separation. Because gravity never stops working. And because in a universe that is billions of years old, even the rarest events eventually become inevitable. In the silent emptiness of space, where distances are beyond imagination, gravity patiently waits, pulling entire galaxies together for a collision that was written billions of years ago.